Why settle for court jesters when you can have three kings? Here are your hosts, Roy, DeVourie, and Dan. It's the three Kangs of the Midway Podcast.
Everybody, welcome to the three Kings of the Midway Podcast, or Kangs, depending on your vernacular. Hey, Bears fans, I got to give y'all a little pep talk right now, man, because we won, but y'all acting like we lost.
Facts.
We won, but y'all acting like we lost. I'm going to have to repeat myself like Dr. Umar. What the hell? And we're going to get into this because Brother Nez was on the friend of the show, Barlissimo's podcast. And they did
shout out to Barlissimo. Shout out to Van Madden. We did a definite in-depth breakdown yesterday about what was going on with Justin Fields, but I'll let you continue.
Yeah, we're going to jump off into that. But I just wanted to say, bro, we're 2-1, okay? And a lot of people that had us only winning 3 games are the same ones who are upset that we're 2-1. And Justin Fields hasn't thrown for, 10 touchdowns in a single game and 5,000 yards, right? The Chicago Bears fan base, and shout out to Ray the Barber, because he told me this last year. This is like a new toy for Bears fans. The Chicago Bears organization has never seen the development of a quarterback. They've never seen it. We just had guys coming and going. They failed. We get them out of here. We never seen a regime develop a quarterback. And what we're seeing right now is the development of a quarterback. People think, he has to go out and throw for 5,000 yards week 3. No, they're bringing him along like we told you guys they would. They're leaning on a run game. They're leaning on a strong defense. They're leaning on special teams, and they're bringing Justin along slowly, much like how teams like the Patriots brought along Tom Brady. The Seattle Seahawks brought along Russell Wilson. How the Steelers brought along Ben Roethlisberger. You maybe not have seen this a while, but this is the old school way. We're going to have them start all 17 games, but we're not going to ask him to win the game. He's going to do a few things to win the game. And when he's ready, we're going to unleash him. But he has to fix his footwork. He has to fix this. He has to time his drops. He has a lot to learn. We know he has a lot to learn. And we know he doesn't have the perfect situation right now. And so that's what we're seeing. But people are patient. They're not ready to go on this fantastic voyage of QB development. So we got the dub. It's victory Saturday for us, but it was victory Monday. How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling real good. And the fact of the matter that, again, like I said, after breaking down the film yesterday and watching every single pass play that has taken place, he's progressing nicely. He's making the correct reads. He's doing the correct checkdowns. He's not forcing the ball. The times that he has been fooled, especially in the San Francisco game, where they used Haifunga as the pretty much as a disguised robber there, where he picked Justin Fields off. They tried to do it again later on in the fourth quarter, and Justin recognized it and didn't make the same mistake twice. That's one of the things that I really liked about seeing his progression, seeing his maturation from week to week to week. Because again, when the 49ers did it, the Houston Texans tried to do the same thing last week in that play as well. And Justin recognized it and didn't make the same mistake. So he's not repeating the same mistakes, folks. This would be something that we would have saw with Mitchell Trubisky and not understanding and diagnosing coverages, okay? A lot of the things that I saw yesterday was, number one, Mustafa is really bad. He's really bad at his position. And it's not serviceable at this point because, one, his snaps are erratic. They're either jetting off to the right or he's just plainly not getting in his hands, and then he's getting his ass whooped at the line of scrimmage. So now, not only does by the time Justin gets into his third step, he has someone coming dead smack in his face, more so than not, on just about every other play. Then on the far left side, you have Braxton Jones there. I don't know if he wears a size 42, but it seemed like every kickback step that he makes, he's stepping on my damn quarterback's ankle and foot. Same thing that Dan pointed out in Spaces last week. It was one play where he came down on Justin Fields' ankle, and if he would probably came down with all his weight, he probably would have hit our quarterback season. Plain and simple. So, these are the things that we are looking at. And on a percentage scale, about 90 to 95% of the time, Justin doesn't have time to throw. The other 5% of the time that he does have a clean pocket, the receivers aren't getting over. That's what it boils down to. So now he has to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. And that's what we're seeing. But see, to the naked eye, on that view that they're giving you on the camera, you just seeing the line of scrimmage, you seeing Justin Fields. And you don't know why he's holding the ball. You don't know why he's sitting there buying time. It's just a lot of things that, it comes with time, but also things that can be cleaned up, not only by the receivers, but by the tight ends as well. A lot of missed blocks, and that's up and down the line. A lot of missed blocks all the way around. But I'm very, 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 very pleased with his progress and what he's doing with his maturation and his progression in this offense. Again, it'll look totally different once we get the horses around him and get everything put in play to where he can show you what he can truly be. And he can actually put together everything in a total package like Jalen Hurts is doing right now. And like Tua Tagovailoa was doing before he went out with the injury. But we have to surround Justin Fields, not only with elite wideouts, but we have to surround him with elite blockers as well. We have a few of those, but we have to give it time, folks. It's still early. And I believe if you give that offensive line time, they'll gel and they'll be solid moving forward.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of good things that could be said for the offensive line and what they're doing, right? Anytime you're able to rush for, 281 yards, I think it was?
Yep.
Almost 300 yards rushing. I mean, this is back-to-back games where they're putting up these types of numbers, right? So, and it doesn't matter who you got in there. It could be Ebner, it could be Montgomery, it could be Herbert, whatever. They're able to get some yardage and move the chains like that. So I give them credit for that. The pass blocking is a little bit, it's a little bit behind the run blocking, of course, but run blocking is always easier because you're going forward. You know what you want to do, right? When you're going backwards, it's difficult when you got somebody coming at you. You're going backwards, you're taking a couple steps back anyway, and then trying to, still be fortified in your position and not be moved, right? Anytime you're moving one direction and somebody's coming at you and they have force going that same direction, you're off balance. You're gonna have some issues. Braxton Jones, I think he's played well. Just stepping on my quarterback's feet, man. They gotta stop though, man. I said that in Spaces. I was, he got maybe one or two more times. You know what I mean? He got maybe one or two more times. Braxton, you got to get it together, man. I can't have you, doing that to my quarterback over and over. And some of those issues need to be cleaned up. Like that needs to be cleaned up. And then of course the snapping of the ball, right? We asked Justin Fields to, protect the ball and not put it in bad spaces and drop the ball, fumbles and interceptions and things like that. Snapping the ball between center and quarterback, that's essential as well. So, that goes on Justin Fields and people are blaming him for that. But that's been a running issue with the Bears for the last 3 years. No matter who they have, whether it be Cody Whitehair in there, James Daniels was there before. Now we got Sam Mustipher. For whatever reason, we can't find a center to snap the dang ball. So I'll be glad to see what Lucas Patrick is able to do at some point when he takes over as center. And maybe he's able to get on same page with Justin Fields when it comes to snapping the ball. That's really important, man, because it's wasted downs, bro. You know what I mean? When you snap the ball into your own butt, or whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? It's
killing his nutsack. Killing his nutsack.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, damn. I know that hurt.
You gotta
Black
be
and blue
better than
balls.
that, man.
Right.
Gotta be better than that. So they got some of those issues to kind of focus on and kind of get together. But for the most part, the grand scheme of things, offensive line, I ain't got no problem with what they're doing because you see the progress. That's all I said. The beginning of this season, I want to see progress from what we saw before. And that goes in several different aspects of the game. The offensive line is making progress. You know?
Yeah, even the Braxton Jones thing, I think Braxton Jones needs another offseason of lifting weights. Right? You know, he's a rookie.
Footwork.
Yeah,
he's a
footwork.
rookie, man.
Yeah, he's a rookie, so he's gonna make mistakes. There was one play, and a lot of people, we talked about it offline, that a lot of people ain't mentioning, like the screen pass to Darnell Mooney, and the player, the defensive end, was able to jump up in there and bat the ball out. The offensive line's responsibility on that is to make sure that player can't do that. So you need to bench press him, punch him in the chest right when he's about to throw that ball so you can't jump up and bat it. It's little things like that, but that just shows up as an incompletion on the stat sheet, and you're like, oh, pull out the numbers, look at Justin Fields throw it incompletion. That's on the offensive line. He should have blocked that guy so he wasn't able to jump up and bat that ball down. And I'm pretty sure Braxton Jones know that. So this is a little nuance of the game. Like, the thing about the game, I don't want to absolve Justin Fields of like the mistakes he made, but what's being blown out of proportion is the amount, right? The one issue that I had, and I got to still check out Barrelissimo. You guys, this shit was like a part-time job. It was like 3 hours. I'm about to break it down into sections. But I subscribe to the QB school in his Patreon. He did an entire breakdown. And the one play, it was the first interception he threw to Cole Kmet. It was like Kmet up the seam. If you watch the play, all 22, when I had a quarterback breaking it down for him,
He slows down.
he slowed down. But that's like an issue between him and Justin, because Justin led him. I think Cole Kmet probably was right because he was running into a safety. But that's an issue they have to work out. Justin threw it ahead, expecting Cole Kmet to go ahead. Cole Kmet slowed down. That's an issue that you just have to rep. Like, a lot of what people don't understand, experience is the best teacher. And it's not just sports. It applies to people's professional lives. When you're learning something new, when you first are doing something, especially when it's hard and complicated, there is no process to accelerate that. You just got to do it. Like, I remember, like, in the military, the first time we had to clear a room, right? There's a way you clear a room. There's a way you enter a room, right? There's certain techniques, there's certain movements that you make. There's a certain way you look. And when you first do that thing, bro, it's like, you don't know what the hell you're doing. And then eventually, slowly, after rep, after rep, after rep, after rep, after rep, you start learning where the bones are hidden, and you become better at something. It applies to everything. It applies to the quarterback position. And what, unfortunately, when you're a pro athlete, you have to do this in front of 80,000 people, and you have to do it with millions of people watching you. And now everybody has the all 22 who don't know what the hell they're doing.
All 32.
All 32.
All 32.
And they critiquing.
You know what his reads are? Yeah, I know the reads. 1, 2, 3. Really, bro? Really, bro?
That's why we gotta start recording spaces, bro. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be recorded tomorrow.
We gotta record spaces too. All 32.
If you get in spaces and you say something ridiculous, trust and believe it's gonna be on the podcast. And once we put it on the podcast, it's there forever. It's gonna be there. So enjoy it. You know what I mean? Enjoy it. Get on there and say something crazy if you want to. We're gonna put it up.
I have the all 32, man. I see the plays. I know the reads. You know what his reads are.
You know the all 32.
Yeah, I know his reads. I know the reads, man. 1, 2, 3. With confidence, though.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Who's one?
That's
Who's two?
Reads.
Who's
That's
three?
Ooh, boy.
Had to ask him several times. Crazy. You know what though, Will? I got a thought about that interception with Cole Kmet, and you're right. He did slow down. He slowed down a little bit right before the ball was kind of getting there, and it's because the safety's coming over, right? So you trying to figure out, establish where the safety is, where the ball is, and relativity to that. And if you look at that play, Cole Kmet he was open from the jump, bro. And this is a situation where it let me know that Justin Fields is thinking a lot, and he's not playing the game of football and he's not comfortable playing the game of football the way he normally knows how, right? And when he comes off, he could have let that ball go immediately if he wanted to almost, and hit Cole Kmet for 10, 15, maybe even 20-yard game on that play. But he held the ball because he went through his steps. Hike the ball, 1, 2, 3. He's counting it in his head. 1, 2, 3. Look this way, look that way. Get out, you know what I mean? And he's going through all this information while trying to look at the field, read the defense, and find his receivers, right? So it's a learning process in that regard, right? They've changed a lot. They put a lot on his plate to change, right? And he's smart enough. I think he can handle it, but it's still a learning process. It's still a work in progress. And that's what Bears fans tend to, they miss that. They don't see that nuance in the game, right? When you look at the film, all you see is, oh, he missed the throw. Yeah, but did you see the guy taper down? I bet you there's a lot of players that didn't, or a lot of fans that didn't even see that.
Oh, no doubt.
That Cole Kmet tapered down his speed. A lot of people didn't realize that Cole Kmet was open and he could have got him the ball much earlier, but Justin Fields waited because he's going through that process. So once he gets comfortable, and that's why I said, establish that run, get some easy plays. You know what I'm saying? Some quick throws, some easy plays, just to get the rhythm going, get him in the mood of playing the game of football. Let him relax a little bit instead of thinking it all the way through. When you're thinking too much, you're not having fun. You're not playing the game the way you see it best. So, to get him back into that mentality or that mode, you're really gonna have to accept some of the good and the bad, right? And what I mean by that is maybe his footwork is not always perfect. You know what I mean? Maybe, this throwing motion that you have him change, maybe he goes back to the other a little bit, you know what I mean, or whatever. But if it works, it works. And if he lets him, just focus on one thing at a time. And I told some people this in Spaces. Aaron Rodgers, and I hate Aaron Rodgers, but he said something that was smart in a interview over the summer. He said, they asked him, what advice would you give Justin Fields? And he said, my advice to him would be focus on one thing per offseason. Work on that one thing. You're going to have a long career. You're going to have 10, 12, 13, 14-year career. Work on one thing per offseason, whether it be your footwork, throwing motion, whatever you want to work on that one thing per season. And by the time you'll just add up and add up and add up and add up and get better at certain things. And I think what the Bears have done, and this is where I look at the coaching staff a little bit and I question what they've done in this regard. You changed too much at one time. I think that was, what Aaron Rodgers said, work on one thing. Don't change the throwing motion and the footwork and how you line up at the line of scrimmage. Don't change all these things in one season. You can't do it all in one season. Otherwise, you get into this situation where he's thinking too much and he's not really playing the game of football. So I think that's playing a little bit of a role in it. Maybe if they taper that back a little bit, then he'll get more used to the offense and things like that. It's a lot, bro. It's an overload of information. Brand new scheme, 7 new players on offense. You know what I mean? You're working with all new players except for what? Mooney, Kmet, and Montgomery. Everybody else is new, even the offensive linemen. That's a lot of change, man. A lot of upheaval.
Yeah, I think the footwork was the coaches because it has to be tied into the route concept. Now the throwing motion, I think that's because there was all this talk. Remember, everybody was talking about how he dips the ball. I think he worked on that on his own, which was, I know, but that's what happens when you start listening to fans and media and buffoons on the internet.
And you remember, and I told somebody this week, you remember that back a year ago, I think it was, when they were talking about his throwing motion. Oh, he's got the ball pointed down.
These people never played quarterback.
They never played the game of quarterback. But remember, we isolated, and you did it in specific, Will, where you isolated several quarterbacks, including Mac Jones,
Russell Wilson,
that all had that same pointing of the ball, where the ball was pointed up and you're throwing the ball. It's you can catch that. It's a small area where you catch that in somebody's throwing motion. You can catch it pretty much in anybody's throwing motion, especially if they played baseball, because that's how you wind up to throw a baseball. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Pat Mahomes, Kyler Murray, all of these guys have a baseball background. And when you're throwing, like say if you're playing shortstop or third base and you're throwing across the field, that's your throwing motion.
Yeah, and that's where that came from. That throwing motion came from. That's why I always say, I want to say this. I want to give props to the coaching staff and the front office because they understand what's going on. When you heard them speak, there was no flinching. Luke Getsy didn't flinch. He was like, Justin's basically a rookie. They look at him as a rookie. They understand that these are the ups and downs that they got to go through. Flus didn't flinch. He didn't even blink. They were like, he's a young quarterback. They're going to have ups and downs. We're just going to keep rolling. Now he knows that he has a team good enough to win without him playing out of his mind. And so that's also gives a young quarterback comfort because he knows I can lean on my running game. I know my defense is going to hold it down. I don't have all the pressure on me. What it seems like is that Bear fans want all the pressure on him, and somehow that's going to prove that he's the man. No, he can go into a game knowing I don't have to throw for 5,000 yards and 25 touchdowns to win every single game and win the shootout. That's not good development. The development is in my opinion, what we said is what they're doing now. They're leaning on the run game, the defense. They're allowing him to develop. Not everything is all on him. They're going to get him the weapons. We have almost $110 million in cap space next year. But there are receivers on the wide receiver market where you can trade for them. You can draft them. DJ Moore doesn't seem happy in Carolina right now.
We're going to get into that. Not into that situation, but I just got a comparison that I want to share with everybody later on. Okay. When we talk about these people that are on Justin Fields' back for whatever reason.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I want to get into because I know there's a difference of opinion on Mr. Roquan Smith and say Omni. I think Roquan. I'm not ready to give Roquan $20 million. I'll tell you that. Because I'm not one of these people that overreact over one game. Okay, I need a bigger sample size. But I want to give Roquan Smith his props. He had the game-stealing interception. That was an impact play because without that interception, we don't get the field goal to win the game. So props to Roquan Smith. He made some good tackles. He had some TFLs. He smacked a couple of people. So I want to give him his props. But I know Ned still has issues with Roquan. And go ahead, brother.
Bra fucking Bo. Roquan for what you did against the Texans. The Texans. Goddamn Texans. Let that sink in for a moment. Okay, everybody say, oh, he got the game-sealing pick. If not for that interception, we lose. Well, if not for him fucking off, there was a couple plays where he stunk it up and he scored. Not for those, game ain't close. We don't need that interception. But again, I'm not willing to give him $20 million because he did what he was supposed to against the Texans. Praising Roquan balling out against the Texans is like a father going around telling everybody, I take care of my kids. Motherfucker, you supposed to.
What does Chris Rock? Black people always talk about what they supposed.
What you want, a cookie? You supposed to. You claim you're this $20 million a year guy, and you want pats on the back for the shit you did against probably a team that's gonna go 3-14 on the year. Let that sink in, folks. You supposed to. You want to impress me? Do that shit against the Packers. Okay, ball out like that against Green Bay because I've yet to see it. Since you came here, I've yet to see it. I've yet to see you show up in the big game. Since you came here, I've yet to see it. Now, I'm not bagging on Roquan. I'm just stating what the standard is for linebackers in Chicago that are elite, okay?
Yeah.
Elite. Who command prices like $20 million a year, okay? You want to know why Urlacher was Hall of Fame? It's because You couldn't go mid on him. He cut off a section of the field, and he made you game plan around what he did, okay? You want to know why Mike Singletary is in the Hall of Fame? Because he made you game plan for him and account for where he is on the field. All right? Impact players make impact plays in big games. All right? Somebody brought up, well, Urlacher didn't have that many sacks. His highest sack total was 8 in a given season. Okay. Well, who said sacks was the only impact play? Because, again, there's forced fumbles. There's interceptions. And Urlacher had a shit ton of those in game-changing plays. All right, folks? So, again, I think that was Roquan's first interception since last year against the Cincinnati Bengals, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah? Impactful play? All right, great. Off clap.
Yeah.
Kudos to Roquan, because, again, you did what you were supposed to do. Now, let's string that together again this week against another mediocre opponent, the Giants. And then let's string that together and let's build on that, Roquan. So when we do come up with a big test, because Miami's not going to be a big test, all right? Without Tua, I think he's done for the year. He's probably won't come back. So that probably won't be a big test with old Robbie Two Gloves back there. That's not going to happen. But when we do have a big test, a la Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, Minnesota Vikings, Roquan, I'm going to need you to put up a similar performance. Therefore, to justify that you are what you're asking for. But until then, folks, don't be in my mentions about what he done against a subpar opponent. He's supposed to. If he's elite,
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I think Roquan is a real good player. I mean, that's what we've been asking for him to do, is make impactful plays, right? He had 2 tackles for loss, 16 tackles, 2 of them was for loss, interception, game-winning interception. That's an impactful play, right? When you make those types of plays, I'm going to give you your credit. Excuse me. I'm going to give you your credit no matter what. And he deserves that, right? But at the same time, pump the brakes, because we need to have this done consistently. Now, I don't need you to come out and not show up in this next game or for the next 2 or 3 games. Then here we go, show up again. You know what I mean? Be consistent with it. Guys that go out there and play middle linebacker in the Chicago Bears uniforms, and we're not doing nothing but what you did, Roquan. So when we invoke the names of, Brian Urlacher and Mike Singletary and Dick Butkus, who took over the Bears Twitter account for a couple of hours the other day. That was funny. When we talking about these guys and Wilbur Marshall and Lance Briggs, when we're talking about these guys, bro, you brought their names up.
Mm-hmm.
He brought their names up on Family Day, right?
Wow.
When he started talking about, he compared himself to them, and he said, those are who I wanted to be. So when you bring it up, it's only fair that we compare you to that from now on.
Wow.
So I knew every single game what I was going to get from Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs and those guys.
Wow.
I knew every single game, Mike Singletary was going to make plays. He was going to be out there wreaking havoc and causing chaos all over the field. That's something that Roquan doesn't do. So until he's able to do that, that's when I'll be on board with giving him a boatload of money. Until then, yeah, he's a good player, but I don't know, man. $20 million is a lot of money for a linebacker, bro.
Let the church say amen.
Hallelujah. Wow. Yeah, he got to do it consistently. That's my only thing. You did well. You played well. Now do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. Because somebody whose neck we've been on for a couple years is Eddie Jackson. Yes. And look who's doing it again. Like, even when he got run over by Debo, you know what, bro? He was there trying to make the tackle. Sometimes you take an L, but he was there. He was there to take the hit, to make the hit. And so that's what Roquan got to do. The coaching staff seen it like a Williams. They're like, oh, he just got to get in shape. But we're going to see it because now you showed us that you can do it. Now do it again. Do it in New York. Do it again.
Like you said, do it in Green Bay.
Yeah, do it in Green Bay.
One of the things that turned me off, that really pissed me off in that Green Bay game was when they just ran slants to death, right? They slanted us to death in that game. Aaron Rodgers wasn't throwing the ball deep. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't have the time.
He was slanting us to death. Now when you're not blitzing as a linebacker, you're dropping back, and you allow slants to be thrown on you the whole game. That's a problem for me. Because you should go over there and you should smack somebody. At some point in the game, you need to lay somebody out. Lay somebody out. No matter who it is. Get a lay flag. Get a whatever. I don't care. At that point, you got to send a message that, hey, it ain't finna go like this. You're not finna do this all night.
Yeah.
And to me, our linebackers didn't do that. They didn't step up to the plate, and they allowed them to throw slants on us. I didn't like that. I didn't like that part of the defense at all. So, they gotta fix that going forward. And there's some other things that they gotta kind of hone in on. But for the most part, that game the other day was good. I appreciate what Roquan did. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but when you compare yourself to the best, now you in there. Okay, let's do it.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. That's the standard in Chicago. That's the standard. You named all the great linebackers. That's what we do in Chicago. Linebackers, especially running backs, you want to be that. Speaking of taking another position that Chicago knows well, I want to give the young man Khalil Herbert his props. I got to give that man his props. David Montgomery went down. Yeah. And we never feel confident when Montgomery goes down, mainly because we have a guy like Khalil Herbert. The boy, he showed out. And this is the thing, dude. The offensive line run blocking, dude, that hole when he got like that 58-yard run, it was like Moses parted the Red Sea. Dude, that was amazing. And he hit that hole. He kept going. He switched the balls. He stiffed on the guy, kept rumbling. Rumble, young man, rumble. And I wanted to say this, like the Bears' run blocking is elite right now. Run blocking, because you get people that don't understand this. Run blocking, and Dan alluded to this earlier, run blocking, pass blocking, not the same thing.
Day, totally different.
So just because they have a good running team, I've seen people say, well, they got a good offensive line because they have a good run. Look at their running. Yes. That's good, but it's not the same as pass blocking. They haven't been awesome in pass blocking. That's still developing. Hopefully it develops. But I just wanted to say that because I've seen people say that, well, line is great. Justin just is not. No. They need to improve their pass blocking. But I want to give them props for that run blocking. I want to give props to Khalil Herbert, who I feel confident can hold it down until Demo comes back and they can form that two-headed monster. Travis Epner, he did okay. He's probably going to play this week more because David Montgomery is out again, and we can allow him to rest because he played so well. So how y'all feel about that performance by the young boy Khalil Herbert?
It was dope, but this is the same thing that we told y'all was going to happen in the offseason. We told you that the Bears were going to rely heavy on the run game and go with the two-headed monster of Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery, and then they will form play-action pass off of that, and naked boots and rollouts and everything else. That will develop and matriculate from the run game. Told y'all this in the summer. So, with that said, it was excellent. I mean, but I wasn't shocked because, again, Khalil Herbert filled in last year quite nicely when David Montgomery went down. He filled in quite nicely and did his thing. So, it's so much to the point where you had dumbasses on here saying, we don't need David Montgomery, go with Khalil Herbert. Whatever.
I'm always like, how about both?
Exactly.
Why would you?
No, you only can have one good player, bro.
All the running backs you can have, right?
You just need one good player. Just one.
So,
that's all you need.
I wasn't shocked at his performance yesterday, and granted that this week we're going up against the New York Giants defense, who are 28th against the pass and 25th against the run. This is where you're going to see a good mix of run pass in this game. The reason why we didn't throw the ball that much, the first three, folks, well, the San Francisco 49ers have the number 1 pass defense in the league, followed by the Green Bay Packers, who have the 7th pass defense in the league, followed by the Houston Texans, who have the 11th best pass defense in the league.
I posted that. People don't know. And they're like, oh, my God. I'm like, well.
So let that sink in for a minute. So with your young QB that's still learning, you're not going to put him in harm's way, things that could possibly ruin his confidence, okay, or ruin. Not saying that Justin Fields' confidence can't be ruined, because we saw him a little shaken and stirred last week after making mistakes, and they're coaching him up on the sideline like, forget that play. We moving on to the next one. You know, we putting the ball in your hands. Don't worry about that. That's not important right now. We still gonna put the ball in your hands. We still believe in you, so don't worry about that. He's hearing the noise. Trust and believe. So they're not gonna put him in harm's way. This week, against a porous defense like the Giants, against the run and the pass, you're gonna get a little mix up there. Probably 50-50 run pass options, right? And then on top of that, we get Velus B12 Jones this week. Gonna help out a lot in the quick passing game. Could possibly be Justin's safety blanket.
Let me give you some quick stats too. I'll let you get back at it. You want to know what David Montgomery is rushing? Average 4.5 yards a carry. Now, Khalil Herbert is 7.3 yards a carry. You're not going to get the ball to a player that's averaging 7 yards a rush. And versus the Green Bay Packers, I think Demo was like at 7, and I think Khalil was like at 8 or 9. You surprised we running the ball? Go ahead, bro.
It's crazy.
You got to do it. You got to do it. I mean, we said this, and I tried to say this in the offseason. I told people, you know, a young quarterback who's learning a system, who has new weapons and things like that, he's got 3 best friends. Number 1, a good running game. Number 2, a safety blanket in a big target for tight end, right? And 3rd, a defense that can put him in good situations, get some takeaways, and give him short field positions, right? That way, you know, we can have that, and he can work with put the pressure on the opposing defenses. Now, one of those things is manifesting itself in a major way, and that's the running game. The other 2 things need some work. Cole Kmet needs to step up. I need to see more from him, right? I need to see him step up. He needs to be that safety blanket, that guy like Algie Crumpler was for Vic, or like Mark Andrews is for Lamar Jackson. Or I can name several tight ends who were big targets and gave that young quarterback somebody to throw to, a bailout throw, you might say. When everything else breaks down, look for my boy. He's 6'7", 270 pounds. He's going to go up and grab it for me and make a play, right? That's what we need. And then, of course, the defense has gotten some takeaways, but for the majority of the season, we've been losing the position of the field battle. Now, that's not necessarily the defense's fault altogether, because the offense with the 3 and outs, you know, getting the ball at the 10-yard line, go 3 and out, punting the ball, you're giving them great field position. And those other teams are having that field position, getting it at the 40 and the 45-yard line. It drastically, when you're backed up in your own end zone, it drastically shortens your playbook. You're not going to do some of the things that you would do if you were out at the 35 or the 40-yard line, because if you turn the ball over, you make a mistake, they right there and they ready to score.
Or if you got suspect pass blocking and you drop back to long develop, now you got a sack.
And now you backing up more. You know what I mean? So those are the things that we have a problem with right now. If they could shore those things up, win the field position battle, Cole Kmet step up, and of course keep the running game at on point, the offense will start to take off. They'll start making noise. You made a good point, because we have consistently lost the field position battle. It's something that I noticed during the game. We're constantly backed up into our own end zone. Yep. And so you got, like you said, you got suspect pass blocking, your wide receivers aren't getting up. You really, you can't expect this offense, and I don't expect it. And I said this from the summertime. I posted a thing when I did it in May, when I said this isn't going to be an explosive passing offense. You can't just assume, we got to develop them, so we got to take the risk. No, you still got to try to win the game, dude. You can develop them as you go, but you can't be backed up in your own 20,
trying to air it out when you know your team is not designed to do that.
That's another thing that stupid Bear fans get on my nerves saying too. Just let him throw the ball. We need to unleash it. Let him throw it 35, 40 times. Okay.
We saw how that worked with Matt Nagy, right?
Yeah. Disaster.
Disastrous. No, because these coaches have to answer for that coaching record. And people think that's the only way you develop it. It's not. Okay, but I want to get to
the rest of the team. What do you say to the rest of the team?
Yeah, screw you.
We're gonna, all the other players that are putting in blood, sweat, and tears, practicing. You asking them to buy in and do everything you ask them to do. And no, we're not worried about winning. We're just gonna develop Justin Fields. Now you create a situation where people in the locker room looking at him like, man, screw this nigga.
And you don't even have the horses, bro. That's enough. Like, okay, you're gonna have him throw the ball 40 times a game. To who? Darnell Mooney? Like, we already saw he's a 2. You can take him out the game. Now, who else? Equineme and St. Brown, we said he was going to be a decent player, right? We said that. But he's not a game breaker. Right. Who else? Pringle was hurt. And then not only that, let me go down the list of wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. Pringle is on the IR, right? He's been hurt all season. Who else we lost? We lost Harry. We traded for Harry.
He'll be back.
He'll be back, but he's been on the IR. Yeah. Tajay Sharp, he looked good in the preseason on the IR. David Moore on the IR. Velus Jones been hurt all year. Who the hell does he have?
Right.
Dante Pettis, we didn't expect this man to make the team. We're relying on Dante Pettis.
Dante Pettis? Yep.
He's been decent.
He's been decent, but they're just decent. Yeah. The only plus guy we have right now is Darnell Mooney, right? And then everyone else
who's been absent the last 3 weeks.
But see, that's the thing.
When you can't air it out.
Yeah, when you're the number one guy, all of a sudden, now teams play you differently, and it ain't as easy to get open. You know what I'm saying?
And they have tape on one from last year. That's also they got tape on from last year. So now, but you need more guys. So like you're demanding that they air it out, and I'm like, air it out to who? And then people, like I saw someone say, well, the Jags don't have they got a bunch of number 2s. And then I went through this list of all these players who we have that have been hurt, like we brought into play. Pringle was brought into play. He's been hurt. He played 2 games, and he missed all the training camp. He's been hurt. Harry's been hurt. All these, Velus has been hurt. These are the main guys we brought in to supplement Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields, and all these guys have been hurt. So, and now that we got Velus back, but we got to see how to use him. And also I wanted to speak about Velus with the field position. Right? When you got a dynamic kick returner, punt returner, when you kick him the ball, I am expecting Velus Jones to be able to flip some of that field position, being explosive. So you kick the ball, we're not inside the 20 because he can bring it up to the 50. So having a dynamic kick returner, punt returner should help the offense. And bringing that speed on offense should help the offense because Velus Jones, Darnell Mooney has a 4.3. Velus Jones 4.3 is a little bit different. Yeah. It's a little bit more.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you see passes across the middle for Chicago at all?
Oh, you know what? They haven't run
drag route.
The mesh
crossing route. No. None of those. You don't see those. Why do you not see them? Because we don't have our horses to do it. Yeah. That's Byron Pringle. That's what he was supposed to be doing. That's what Velus Jones is supposed to be doing, right? So when you don't have those pieces, teams can play defense against you all kinds of ways. They know you can't do that now. Mm-hmm. So now your only access is to certain parts of the field, and they can shut that down. They're shutting it down on Chicago. Yep. So when we get our pieces back, some of those pieces back, we'll be able to attack all those areas of the field, and things will open up for people a little bit, right? You'll see some progress. Another thing that I wanted to mention was, I heard somebody say this week, Justin Fields should throw for 3,000 yards by accident, and I want to see him throw for 4,000, right? 4,000 yards. So I'm thinking to myself,
no one gives a shit what you think, for one.
Right.
This goes to your point, Will. If Justin Fields throws for 4,000 yards, one of them receivers got to catch 1,500 yards worth of ball.
Yep.
Who is that going to be? Who on this team right now is going to catch 1,500 yards, 1,600 yards?
You're going to have 6 receivers with 800 yards. Like,
and that ain't going to work. Bro. That's not going to work.
You got a guy.
There ain't nobody that's going out there getting between 600 and 700 yards, and you got 8 or 9 of them. That's what you got. No, that ain't working.
No.
You gotta have a dog on that squad.
Bro.
You gotta have a dude to get 15
All
yards.
these young guys,
Man.
even when they mention the young guys, and like I said, Justin Fields has his issue he has to work on, which a lot of quarterbacks have to. But all these guys have had a guy. People like even Deshaun Watson as a rookie. Deshaun Watson had DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller. Like
Big Ben, when he came in his rookie year, he didn't
Hines
throw for a lot of
Ward,
yards.
But he still
all.
had Hines Ward. He had Plaxico Burress. You know, he didn't even throw for 3. He threw for like 2,300 or something like that.
Right. He didn't throw for a lot of yards.
And he had some horses. And this is the thing. This one I'm so glad that the coaching staff are running this team and Eberflus and Poles, because you people are fucking insane. You are. They like I employ people, like when the game is on, do not log on to Twitter. Just watch the game. Because there's so many like idiots. I don't know where they come from. It wasn't like this on Bears Twitter a couple years ago, and now it's just like this.
Everybody want to give a play-by-play analysis. Like, who are you?
Yeah, and it's so extreme.
Oh my God! I can't believe it's 3rd and 8 and they're running the ball.
They just got sacked on the last play on the Max Pro. Like, you get sacked on the Max Pro.
Why aren't you calling timeout, man? It's 28 seconds left, and you're at your own 2-yard line going into the half.
I tell somebody that,
calling timeout.
You expected them to march down the field 80 yards in 20 seconds. What has this offense done to make you believe they're going to march down the field 80 yards in 22 seconds?
I was asking people that. I think we asked people that because somebody in Spaces, the first thing they say, why did they not go for something? It's 28 seconds. You still had 28 seconds at the 26-yard line. What we gonna do?
Do we got Megatron? We can just say, go on the go route. We're going to throw the ball and you're going to pick up 50. We don't got that guy.
So when Justin drops back and he's throwing, Hail Marys at the end of the half, and it's an interception, now you hold that against him, right? Later on, he threw a pick, another pick. He's bad with the ball. No protection.
I literally seen quote unquote diehard Bears fans hop on Twitter, and I know who you are. I should call out your names because y'all claim to be diehards and y'all was throwing Justin Fields under the bus, calling him garbage. He's not it. He's a bust. Y'all know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Y'all know who I'm talking to. Cats who straight up and down supposed to be diehard Bears fans, and you turned on them. God forbid we would have lost, how that would have ended, but you turned on them. It was ridiculous, man. It's kind of disgusting to see, but it just lets me know that it's y'all fandom is conditional. Y'all fandom is conditional. Mine is unconditional. It don't matter if he's struggling. It don't matter if he's balling. I'm still gonna be a Bears fan. It don't matter if the Bears win the Super Bowl or if they go 0-16, 17. I'm still a Bears fan. I'm still gonna be watching every Sunday.
All day, every day.
I just can't get, and then it took for us to talk some people down, off the ledge. Because people was on suicide watch. Like, what's going on, man? Seriously, what's going on? They was legit on suicide watch. Oh my God, just the season is over. He's not in.
2-1.
Whoa.
Even in the first half, man, we run the Spaces, right? At halftime, you got people, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I'm like, people, hold up. In the first half, we ran for 181 yards.
Yeah.
Look at the good in the situation. We ran for 180 yards in the first half. Oh, no, it was 164. Yeah. 164 yards in the first half. Relax, people. Relax. It's going to be okay.
Bro, could you imagine? Remember last year we picked off week 2? The Bears picked off Joe Burrow 3 straight times.
Yeah.
What was it? Angelo Baxton batted the ball down. Roquan Smith had a pick 6. Jalen Johnson got him. Bro, this was before Joe Burrow became Joe Cool and everyone loves him. This was early on in the season.
Yeah.
And they would have gave up on him.
Nah, look, he took him to the Super Bowl.
They would have gave up on him.
That's a nice way to lead me into my next subject, right? And this is just for you Bears fans who have given up on Justin Fields. Remember, people gave up on Jalen Hurts. People also, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now look at Jalen Hurts. What's he doing? You know what I mean?
Balling.
touchdowns.
MVP candidate.
MVP candidate they talking about, right? People gave up on Tua. You know what I mean? True enough, he got hurt. But in the first 3 games, 975 yards passing, right? All I'm saying is, what changed with those 2 guys? What changed?
Weapons.
They got weapons. You got A.J. Brown and you got Devontae Smith in Philadelphia, a good tight end, right? In Miami, you got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, 2 fastest guys in the NFL.
They got Gesicki too. He's a good tight end. Too, right? They signed was it Wilson, the slot guy. And they got good running backs. You got most. And they got good running backs. Yeah. And they catch the ball out of the backfield.
Fast running backs.
It's so easy. This is the part. When you draw back and you got protection and you're not getting hit and your guys are open, it's like pick one. It's not hard to understand. It's not difficult to understand.
But people was ready to give up on them guys. Like they was ready to give up on Jalen Hurts, right? They, last year and the year before that, his rookie year. Oh, is he going to be the guy? Is he going to be the guy? Now you got Nick Sirianni saying, hey, it's not even close to what his ceiling could be, right? So how quickly things can change when guys get some weapons around him. Give this dude the weapons he needs. The game is going to get much easier. Right now, it's difficult. It's a hard game because you're working with inferior talent, right? So when you're working with inferior talent, you can't make mistakes. You got to be on point. And in a new system with new coaches, new players, everything's new. Everything ain't on point yet. When it gets on point, they'll be fine.
You know who knows the system? And the reason why they even look decent? St. Brown. He knows the system. That's why he looks the best.
Yeah.
He knows the system.
Yep.
Everybody on this offense itself, Lucas Patrick, Luke Getsy, and Equinemi and St. Brown, everybody else is learning the system. It's all new. It's all new. But listen, people, we told you what this team was going to be all offseason. So, you know what? Take that into consideration when you think about who you're listening to for your information, right? Because I don't know, these other people, they're upset because they led you astray. They led you to believe that Justin Fields was going to ascend into, the next superstar quarterback, first year in the system with limited amount of weapons with the questionable offensive line. We told you this team was going to run the ball. They were going to play good defense, and they were going to allow Justin. We told you this. Don't act shocked.
Facts.
We knew it going into the next offseason with a lot of money. We told you this.
I can't wait because I want to see who we going to pluck. I can't.
We gonna pluck somebody. We
plucking somebody.
We plucking somebody. We
taking some teams number one. I'm telling you that right now.
And we might draft another one.
And we're gonna draft another.
And maybe get another tight end. They're gonna go shopping, especially the defense. The defense is relatively young and locked in.
Yeah.
Right. So
that offensive line. Offensive line. I'm telling you, we'll probably sign a big time left tackle. We'll probably sign a big time guard.
Probably get another guard.
We'll probably get another guard.
You don't need them. You don't need too many. You got to see this year is like you're going to see what Braxton Jones can do. If he can hold it down or not, I don't have any doubt that if he doesn't fit it, that they won't find somebody else. And he can just develop or be a swing tackle.
Yep.
So I don't doubt that. Cody Whitehair, same thing. They can keep him. They can let him go because his money is his guaranteed money is like he can be cut. But if he's solid, you can keep him. But if not, you can go younger and get a guy that fits the system. I think Patrick is good. I think Jenkins is good. We know Bourne is balling. So that middle to the right, I think they're legit. The left side,
it's suspect.
They're being evaluated.
Right.
They're being evaluated.
I wouldn't be shocked if Cole Kmet can't put it together. We sign a tight end.
Yeah. Well, you got to get another. You got to have two-headed. You got to get Justin all the weapons. I want Justin to have all the weapons. I want him to have two tight ends. I want him to have four wide receivers. I want to sign David Montgomery. I want him to have multiple running backs. Ain't no we don't need David Montgomery because I need both.
No.
I need both. I need my boy to have everything. I want him to have everything.
A fairly good deal too.
Yeah, I want him to have as many weapons as Joe Burrow because people like to put up Joe Burrow like he's not throwing at Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. But last year he had Uzama, he had Joe Mixon. Who do they have? The other running back who's a good running back. They had a couple good running backs.
Yeah.
No, he need all the weapons. He need all of them.
Here's check this out, right? And I know we ain't at this point in we're trash tweets or nothing like that, but This is somebody tweeted this. Fields apologists are out of control. He had 8 completions and 5 sacks versus one of the worst teams at home. I see people comparing him to Allen and Herbert. It's worse than homerism. I saw people say that he was better than Tua and Hurts. This is coming from a Bears fan.
Who is this person?
This is coming from a
put him out there.
Who is this person?
This is coming from a Bears fan. And then hold on, let me find out who this is right quick, because I just clipped the tweet.
Because these same people, like these people, they're attention spans. I think they had like their developmental delay, like their IQs are like.
I told you.
The size
That's
of a
why
shoebox.
I put in that caption this week when I said trying to talk football to Bears Twitter. And it was the caption from the movie Idiocracy, where he's
that's a great
explaining
movie.
to them about how you should put water on crops so they can grow.
What was it, Bando? The electrolytes?
Well, Brando has electrolytes. It's what plants want.
Right.
Well, Brando knows what plants want because it has electrolytes. What? Like, do you even, like, what? And it's like, it's like trying to explain that to him, man. It was like, hey, Roquan is good, but he's not that type of player. Oh, he's good. Why is he good? Because he has tackles. What? Yeah, well, Roquan's good because he has tackles. Tackles. Yeah, tackles. Okay. Those tackles really impact the game, folks. Yeah. Let me know how that turns out against Green Bay.
Bro.
Let me about the NFC's elite. Let me know how those tackles turn out.
Like, y'all know I'm biased towards Bama quarterbacks, right? But people acting like Tua has been, like, he lit up the league. Like, his first year, he had 11 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns. He hasn't been, it's not like Tua's been throwing up 30 touchdown seasons, right?
Right.
He's better than Tua. He's got more in his tool bag than Tua could dream.
Yes, dream of. It's not like he forgot how to be a quarterback. Like, people forget PFF, and I'm not a fan of PFF, but all these players, all these draft places said Justin Fields, since they have been tracking it, has been the most accurate quarterback in college football history. He's one of the most prolific passers in college football, right? This guy did not forget how to play football. His arm is still his arm. He still has a howitzer attached to his right shoulder. He still is a 4-3 guy. He still, even in the game, he had a bad game. He was still throwing darts. He still is insanely accurate. He still is a guy who played Trevor Lawrence and Clemson with the broken ribs, who played Alabama Crimson Tide with broken ribs and had a good game. He is still that player. This didn't change. This is the thing when you look at stats and look at, you don't understand the context behind the stats because you're just looking at a box score. He is still the physical dude that he is. When he walks on the football field, on a field with elite athletes, he is still probably the best athlete on the field.
Yeah.
Still the best athlete on the field. This doesn't change.
His bag is deep, bro. Like they say, bags, right? He got a deep bag. Like, he can throw the ball, he can run the ball, he can move, he can think about the game, bro. This is what I tell people: if you have a feeling that Justin ain't going to have it, or he's not going to be the guy, right? Or you're nervous about it. I'm worried. That's what I keep hearing. I'm worried.
Anxiety.
Even some people that love him. I'm worried. It's concerning to me. Okay. All right.
You need to go outside.
Here's all you need to think about. This is what you need to think about.
You can go outside.
Can he throw the ball? He can throw the ball. Can he run? He can run the ball. Athleticism off the chart.
Off the chart.
Arm off the charts, right?
Is he smart?
He's got it between the ears, right? We all know that. He's very smart. He can process the playbook. He can learn the playbook quick. He picks it up fast. He's a fast learner. He learns play to play many times, right? We've established that. And most importantly, he's got it in his chest. He got the heart, right? He's not puss. He could have been puss and back down from throwing the ball again. But after he threw that interception to Cole Kmet, what did he do? He threw a strike to Darnell Mooney.
And threw a strike to Cole Kmet.
Exactly. So it's not like he's afraid of the moments and things like that. at the end of the day, he's got a short memory when it comes to those things. I think he'll be just fine. And people just need to relax, man. Take it easy. We're 2-1. Y'all are all in a privileged position to be at 2-1 right now. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Enjoy this motherfucking fantastic voyage and shut the fuck up. Because you sound like a nagging bitch on vacation. Plain and simple.
It's crazy, man. And I don't know if it's I noticed this with people. I don't know if it's since COVID. People are just on edge and their anxiety is like off the charts. I'm like, bro, enjoy the game. And then this is like I think our age, like Gen X's, right? We can enjoy social media because we kind of invented it. Like we started the social media, Facebook, MySpace stuff, and video games, but we also were outside. Like we were able to allow people to develop. Like I remember, Michael Jordan didn't win a championship until the 7th year, right? I can just imagine if Twitter was around because Magic won it as a rookie. With Kareem hurt, he threw the little sky hook. Oh, Jordan's behind Magic. Ain't no way. No, he's a bust. Magic came in right away and won. Bird won right away. Jordan was getting beat down by the Pistons when I was a kid. And we didn't have Twitter to go and I'm worried about Jordan being able to overtake the Detroit Pistons. I was able to just allow the natural process for him to eventually be able to overtake the Detroit Pistons. And we don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore.
That's truth, man.
That's true.
It's true. People take it easy, man. Hold on to your horses. Everything will be just fine. Trust us. It's a work in progress. And if he's not the guy, if he ends up not being that guy, what do? We just move on. We move on from him and we go to somebody else, right? We pivot off that and we move on. End of discussion. But, at the end of the day, we lived through, what is it, Rex Grossman for 6 years?
Yeah.
Jay Cutler got 7 years.
Trubisky got 4.
Trubisky got 4 years. Who else do we have? I mean, we lived through a lot of quarterbacks. And by far, this dude has the most talent out of any of those guys. And the biggest upside that we could ever have. So man, appreciate what you have. How dare you act like we've been around better than what he is bringing.
The way this fan base talks, you would think that we had Joe Montana, Steve Young, Brett Favre, and then Aaron Rodgers, and now Justin Fields.
They wouldn't even let those guys develop. Those guys needed to develop. Like, you know what I mean?
People
like,
don't
you think Joe Montana came in here swinging?
Right. Nobody remembers how sucked Steve Young was when he first came into the league.
He was in Tampa Bay sucking it up.
He was still trying to develop.
He was in Tampa Bay sucking it up, then got traded to the 49ers, and then eventually after sitting behind Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, bro. Like, this is, dude, I think it's society, bro. No one has any patience for fucking anything.
Everybody wants microwave generation.
Microwave generation, dude. Like, you can't see it as like, dude, we have not. The only quarterback we had as physically gifted as Justin Fields was Jay Cutler. And I think Justin Fields is more physically gifted than Jay Cutler. And I said this, bro. If you get rid of, let's say the coaching staff isn't, the front office isn't, because they're smart. So listen to people that are smarter than you. They're smarter than you when it comes to football, because they understand this. If you decided to move on from Justin, draft another guy. Okay.
In the same situation.
It's the same situation. They don't take snaps under center, bro. I said this over and over.
I heard that this week too.
Oh God.
I heard that this week.
Who you gonna draft?
Literally, I heard this week. I heard somebody say, I forgot who it was, but I heard somebody say, well, Justin Fields.
CJ Stroud.
He didn't even do
CJ Stroud. Bryce Young.
He needs to hit stride now, because the Bears are going into the offseason this season, and they're going to have a number 1 draft pick. So,
number 1,
by the end of this year, he needs to have it under control. We need to know what we have. And I'm like, bro.
I'm glad you don't run the team.
Number 1 draft pick, though.
You can't even run your own household. That's going to be
Vegas.
Go clean your toilet,
And your ass.
Like, you can't even run your own household. You over here thinking you're gonna run away. Like, at least internet GMs, bro. Like, what's the point of drafting a quarterback? Because even if you draft a quarterback, you got to see who he is, And you need to have the infrastructure around a quarterback. So, because now you're going to move up in the draft to draft another quarterback. He don't have wide receivers to throw to. How the hell are you going to evaluate him? This is asinine. This is stupid. You still don't have an offensive line because now you're drafting another quarterback. This is, at some point, you have to say, okay, this is our quarterback, and we're going to build around him. And once we hit a certain point, year 4, year 5, like we did with Mitch, Mitch got 4 years, and they dropped his 5th year option because they said after year 4, he's probably not it. You got to at least give these guys 4 years before you give them their 5th year option. They have to show you something. If not, dude, you're just spinning your wheels. And you as an organization and as a fan base don't deserve shit because you're an idiot. And I don't think these people are idiots. I mean, unless it's a Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray situation where they just messed up on Josh Rosen and you got the number 1 pick and you could draft a guy that's clearly better. That's the only time you probably should move on from a young quarterback that fast. And Josh Rosen is trash. And a lot of people like Josh Rosen. These same people that's talking shit about Justin Fields. Love Josh Rosen. He showed like 3 years he was trash.
Frozen Rosen.
If you was ever one of the people that wanted Kyle Trask,
whoa,
you ain't got. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about.
I know one person vividly
that
wanted Kyle Trask.
Like, Trash.
Can't be serious. Kyle Trash.
Nothing you got to say about Justin Fields.
Bro, I saw some people saying they should play.
Remember, he was trying to talk down because he was Kyle Trash.
Trash.
He was talking down the rest of the QBs in the draft. Remember that? It kind of suits the narrative that happens later, though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that was in the DMs. That was in the DMs.
Kind of suits that narrative now. You should think about it like, damn, maybe he was. You know, hey, it is what it is.
Hey, I got a trash tweet. It said
tweet of the week.
The Bears blog. I ain't even got to read the tweet. He had several dumb tweets. But his dumbest tweet, he was saying that the Bears should play Trevor Siemian. One Trevor Siemian. Bro, Justin Fields is behind a pass blocking, a line that's not really good at pass blocking. And his elusiveness.
Get Trevor Siemian career ended.
And wide receiver
Joe Theismann back there. Laying on backwards.
Justin Fields was picked up like 40 yarders off like broken plays. Like, what is this dude gonna do? Get speared. Like the dudes aren't getting open, so like
Towel Boy, like on the movie The Water Boy when they sent the Towel Boy in there, and he got 360. Like damn, he got helicoptered and 360. Like damn, all in one hit.
You think they running the ball now? They might throw 5 passes a game. You put it. And dude, then Trevor Siemian start like he's a decent backup. I'll give him that. He's a solid backup. But this dude played for the Denver Broncos. The team that was loaded, the one that had Von Miller, Chubb, they had wide receivers, and he still didn't even throw for 3,000 yards
at all.
And they were loaded. Like, no, bro, he's a backup. That's how you know you're going off the rails. But this guy has like 15,000 followers, and allegedly has connections, and he's tweeting out this stuff. And this was some of the fan base isn't that bright. They're listening to this guy.
Yeah.
The dumbass Bears blog.
It's bad, man.
Trust me, I have my sources.
The janitor.
Broussard. My sources say. Sources say you're wrong, motherfucker.
It's sad. It's really
sad.
Ridiculous.
Then I saw some dude said, does Justin Fields, I ain't even gonna read the account. I don't even want to look it up. But he had a lot of followers. He said, does Justin Fields ever come off his first read? So I just retweeted him with a clip of Justin Fields going through his progressions at Ohio State.
There you go.
Yeah, he's
like I ain't even say nothing. I just said, there you go, right there. In college, he was already doing it. Like, this is stupid. This is stupid. It's horrible, dude. This is like.
It's ridiculous. You look at the situation, and a lot of people are like, y'all defend Justin Fields because I got accused of being a Justin Fields defender or whatever
what does that
you
even
call
mean?
it, right? I don't know. I have no idea.
Defender.
But
defend this.
You're a defender of Justin Fields. But
defend this nutsack.
In your mouth, bitch.
But check it though, like I'm looking at it and I'm like, no. All I want is for the dude to get the same opportunities that everybody else, his counterparts have been afforded, right?
That's it.
And I look at somebody like Baker Mayfield. He is the shining example of a guy who was given everything, right? and it didn't work out. We can compare Justin Fields and what he's been given to Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes, or whatever, right?
Even Baker had Landry and OBJ,
and that's what I'm getting to. That's what I'm getting to. He had just as much talent around him as Justin Herbert or Pat Mahomes. He had Landry, he had Odell, he had two
Hooper,
cold tight ends. He had Austin Hooper and Njoku.
Chubb, he had Chubb.
A dope defense, that put pressure on the quarterback and
awesome offensive line.
You also had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. He was given everything there. What did he do? He ran through 3 coaches, and then he got booted out of town. Now he's in Carolina, and I posted a video where they're approaching my man, asking
DJ
him,
Moore.
DJ Moore, who's an excellent wide receiver, by the way.
Yes,
right? A legit number 1 wide receiver.
Still putting up 1,000 yards with Sam Darnold as his quarterback, folks.
Yeah, they approaching him talking about, the coach said y'all ain't getting open. Matt Rule said, the wide receivers need to get open for Baker. I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Why does Baker Mayfield get that type of treatment? And you literally have where they're going to wide receivers that are really good and saying y'all need to get better.
Y'all need to play better.
We want to make him better. We trying to boost him up a little bit. And it's a stark contrast to how Justin Fields has been treated. You know what I mean? With less talent, less everything. And it's only his first opportunity. He ain't got 2 opportunities. He was with a lame duck coach. Everybody knew Matt Nagy was being fired. Everybody knew that.
Uninterested wide receiver 1 in Allen Robinson. Completely
uninterested,
disconnected.
Exactly. Turned off and just collected the check and moved out, right? And that was that. So this is what he's been dealt with. And it's like you ever play spades and you ain't got no spades? That's what Justin Fields got right now. That's what he got right now.
Handful of hearts and diamonds.
Playing spades. He got spades, but his whole hand is bleeding. It's all red. Right. And he got maybe two or three spades in his hand.
He's like, I can get you a possible, just one possible.
Right,
man. People got to see it for what it is, man. It's like, come on. And I ain't, it's not about the race card. It's just fair is fair, wrong is wrong, right is right. We criticize Justin Fields. We said he needs to do this. He needs to protect the ball, stop throwing stupid interceptions. Those are the things he needs to work on, right? But at the same time, I'm not going to let nobody have unfair criticism of the dude and lambaste him for no real good reason.
No, but you know what, Dan, the people say that, but I hold that same energy for pretty much all these young quarterbacks. I do.
Yeah.
I defend, not from my own team. I defended Tua. I defended Jalen Hurts. I defended Trey Lance. Trey Lance. People were trying to throw him under the bus. I'm like, he's a rookie.
He played a monsoon.
Yeah, like against a good defense, and I'm like, no, man, these guys need time to develop. I'm sorry, I'm not a microwave generation guy, bro. So I don't react that way to the whims of a play. And one play happens, the guy's a bust. The play happens, he's a GOAT. That's another thing, because they also do the same thing with anointing people. You'll have a guy have a 3-game stretch where he's good, and they be like, is he the best quarterback that ever played? Like what the how the hell did he surpass Tom Brady?
Roquan has 16 tackles and an interception, and
he's the GOAT.
Paid him at $25 million.
That's what I'm saying. The insanity. It's insane to me. Like, you don't understand the situation. And I'm like I always say, I'm just glad that we have sane coaches in here who understand, because they're not flinching. They understand this guy's talented. They understand they don't have the best situation. That's why they're running the damn ball, because they know they don't have the horses. And we created the cap space. They know they have cap space. They even said it. They have literally said this. And then the fan base, some people, not all of them, because I got to get people, we do have some smart fans,
right,
that understand that. But it's so many meatheads. It's like, it's like them, like you said, the movie Idiocracy. It's like the low IQ people out populated the high IQ people. That's basically what happened. And so you see a bunch of idiots. I'm concerned. I ain't concerned about shit, dude. I'm concerned about your mental health. That's what I'm concerned about.
So any more trash tweets of the week, fellas, before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, I ain't got no more, man.
Nah, man, that's it, man. I think we said it. We good. Hey, we didn't even talk about the game. What's our predictions?
Oh, against the Giants. Woo! All right,
I got
quick prediction. I think
quick
the
prediction.
Bears 24, Giants 13. Bears victory.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
you
go
said
ahead.
the same. I'm gonna say 21-17 Bears.
Nice.
I think it'll be 27-17 Chicago. I think they they'll do what they need to do. This team that the Giants are, they're not that
No.
tough in my opinion.
No.
Right? They got a lot of holes, and you got people out there that saying
Shepard
that they
just
got a
went down for the
better
season.
roster. Yeah. So we'll come on, we'll see. David
Yeah.
Seals ain't scaring me.
No, no, I think Saquon, he might get off a couple times. That's why I got him getting 17.
Yeah.
But y'all know how I feel about Davis. I mean, what's his name? Trash Can Dan. This is another thing. He's on his 4th year, bro.
Danny Dime.
Yeah, he's on his 4th year, and you got people still capping for him. But Justin Fields 13 games. Like this dude is playing his like 40th start, right? And this is what I be talking about.
And
This guy's
again,
making his 40th start.
He had talent. He had Odell. He started his career with Odell.
Shepard, and they signed Galladay.
Evan
Tony drafted Tony.
Kadarius Tony.
Come on, man.
Saquon
Barkley.
Come on,
This dude ain't done nothing. And then everybody's ready to jump trash Justin Fields, who's been in the worst position than all of these guys and had less of an opportunity. I don't believe in Danny Dimes or Danny Don't Go Dimes. They're going to bottle him up, and I think Saquon might get off, and the Bears' defense is going to stifle him. And same thing, their defensive line is suffering.
One last trash take too, by the way. Asinine. It's a dude named Asinine. @Shy9 is his name on Twitter. @Shy9 said that he would rather take Danny Dimes over Justin Fields, and he's actually hoping that Danny Dimes goes out there. This is supposed to be a dude from Chicago that loves Chicago Bears, that wants Chicago to win. He said he would like to see, for his narrative to be proved right, he wants Danny Dimes to go out there and put up numbers against his Chicago Bears.
This new generation.
This is new generation. Exactly. Right on point. The new generation.
This new generation.
They sick, bro. They sick in the head.
On that note, fuck him and his theories, because he's gonna be unhappy come Sunday.
We got to get Justin to set him straight.
We out.
We out.